Okay, we are now at 1 minute past the top of the hour, so we will get started. Thank you for joining this live on ServiceNow webinar, where we will be talking you through the Now Platform Washington DC release that went live last week. In particular, we're going to be walking through some of the enhancements and new features and capabilities for IT service management. As with all of our customer-facing presentations, we use the safe harbor slide here to show that some of the information that you see in our presentations may include some forward-looking statements. I'm fairly confident, having reviewed the content of this presentation, that everything you see today is ready for market launch in the Washington release. But just to cover us from a legal perspective, if you see anything in this presentation that is not yet available in terms of being able to deploy, then please do not make any purchasing decisions on this presentation alone. So the agenda for today is we're going to cover what is in IT service management in Washington, automating and optimizing service operations. There is no marketing, what I call fluff, in this presentation. We are not positioning ITSM or indeed the concept of service operations. We want to be able to deliver a format of a webinar that you can consume that includes the features, capabilities of what's new. So I'm going to walk through Now Assist for ITSM, our new digital product release management offering, the enhancements in Service Operations Workspace, OnCall Scheduling, password reset, what's new in the next experience, and then the new platform analytics experience. And then I'll close off with some enhancements to workforce optimization and process mining. So let's get started with Now Assist for ITSM. As you will be aware, Now Assist for ITSM is ServiceNow's go-to-market for generative AI, Gen AI, the large language models empowered within the Now platform that are domain specific to solve your use cases. Now, some of these enhancements in Washington unlock the ability for you, our customers, to design and connect Gen AI powered use cases to virtual agents. Now, for those of you who've been using ITSM for a while, you'll be well aware that Virtual Agent, our native chatbot, has been available for some time now since the London release, with a low-code, no-code designer to build out conversations. Enhanced with capabilities like NLU, natural language understanding, with Gen AI, we are now able to provide faster and better service. It provides summarizations of previous chat interactions so that agents can have a 360-degree view of customer issues to improve services. And what we're also doing is delivering a more robust integration with Microsoft Teams so that our Microsoft customers can get consistent experiences. And as you can see from the slide, some of the outcomes here are that improved self-service, more consistent experiences, and increasing self-service rates via Virtual Agent, so you can analyze those conversational nature on catalog items. So let's move on to the large language model-based topics within the Virtual Agent Designer. Now, one of the challenges that we've heard with deploying NLU is that, the concept of having natural language understanding is clearly delivering great outcomes. But from an admin experience, it's slow and hard to deploy and actually needs, either a white glove treatment from our implementation specialists, or really requires, sometimes weeks or months of planning and UAT to get the business needs, into production. So with the help of Gen AI and Virtual Agent, we're seeing that organizations can help those agents drive faster time to resolution for incidents and cases. And this new capability in Washington allows you to build custom topics without the need to create those NLU intents and without the need to design more complex conversations. So it's faster time to value, faster implementation of those chatbot conversations. And it means you can test the topics using phrase analysis, prompt discovery, all of the context variables and much more. And you can preview it within the Now Assist panel, within Microsoft Teams or Slack as well. So talking about Microsoft Teams, what you're able to do, again, in Washington, is harness the power of Now Assist and generative AI when searching for the information you're looking for within Microsoft Teams, enabling faster answers and to be more productive on the go. Now, again, what we're hearing from the field and from our customers in feedback is that employees have multiple tools and they have this swivel chair across multiple apps and UIs to find the right information. So what we're trying to do is help drive more productivity, reimagining how employees work with Gen AI in a secure and ethical manner. And by providing the Now Assist use cases within Microsoft Teams, our customers are now able to leverage to secure and existing platforms so you can drive innovation and productivity for employees across the enterprise. So brand new in Washington. It's delivered through the store, and you can see here that this requires a Pro Plus or Enterprise Plus SKU in terms of the licensing requirements. So you can talk to your commercial representative about what that means. So wrapping up on Now Assist, the conversational catalog insights and prompt support. This is helping our customers maximize their catalog items by showing which of those catalog items are conversational and which are not. It means that they can be labeled as either conversational or not conversational. And it means that we can also then share recommendations on how to make the non-conversational catalog items into conversational ones. It might sound, a bit weird, but we need to be able to break them down like that so that we can then use this single checkbox support within Virtual Agent that enables catalog items to be presented in a conversational way within Virtual Agent for ITSM. Some of the outcomes driven by this feature here, you can see the ability to see the display information and recommended items on how to make them conversational. So that's Now Assist Gen AI wrapped up, brand new in Washington in ITSM. And in the spirit of being completely human, just bear with me 1 minute, Brian. I don't know if you can hear the whining in the background, but that's my dog wants to be let out. This will take 20 seconds.
There you go.
There you go. Goodness me, he was whining. I was trying to kick the dog while I was multiple swiveling the present on Now Assist. Brian, did you want to lean in there?
Yeah, number one, I wanted to acknowledge Dumbo, and number two, there was a question in the Q&A that I accidentally hit answer live, which you did, about VA Designer and where it's available, and the LLM version is part of Now Assist, which is Pro Plus. So you answered that question, and so just because we do have a lot of topics to cover, I'll type in answers to these questions as they come in. And if there's time at the end, we can do it, but I'm not sure if we'll have time. So please type them in the Q&A and I'll answer them as we go.
Okay, and no more distractions from the dog. He's in the garden now.
All right.
Okay, right. Brand new in Washington. People have been talking to us about release management. We're seeing all these enhancements in ITSM. What are you guys doing release? So our customers are in a state of flux when it comes to enterprise governance. And it's becoming less common for IT to have a command and control, forceful hand. We're seeing a lot of customers, evolve to more trust and verify form of governance. And with this shift, we know that you must adapt to properly enable autonomous teams to have a digital contract with IT, driving resilience and verifying compliance with minimal overhead. Now, our service operations vision addresses this well by helping customers better support autonomous teams, in effect, modernizing legacy processes that are keeping up with the modern digital workloads. This is all resulting in accelerated productivity, faster rate of innovation, and better service quality. So let's sort of dive in a bit how this really applies to release management specifically. Some of the traditional methods of release management revolve around project-based way of working, where you have application features bundled together and then released together as part of a larger release package that's managed and validated by a central release team. Quite similarly to how ServiceNow goes to market with our family releases with, last year, Utah and Vancouver, and now with Washington, across the entire platform with ITSM, ITOM, customer workflows, employee workflows. We package these together. So what we're hearing from our customers is that as organizations modernize and often adopt more agile and DevOps practices, release management has kind of evolved from this traditional project-based way of working to a product-based way of working. And we often see distributed autonomous teams planning, building, testing, deploying products on a much more iterative, frequent basis. Now, of course, it has its benefits: faster pace of releases, quicker feedback, and enhanced ability to pivot, but it also has its challenges, which means it's more difficult for central IT to have visibility into the releases, to maintain that governance and ensure compliance. So as a whole, release we're seeing has been shifting away from that traditional project way of operating, and we're observing central teams more focused on defining the right guardrails to support and enable the product teams to get their work released in a compliant manner. Now, digital product release, the new DPR product, it does not encompass capabilities to do the build, testing, or even the actual deployment of a product. What it does do is it ties these three phases together, from planning through to deployment. Now, as the layer validating when a product is ready to progress from one stage to the next via policy checks, we're seeing that these policies are data-driven validation checks. And of course, we can apply automation. They happen automatically, leveraging data from records and third-party integrations. So what we can do is we can think of policies as like gates that deem when a release is ready to progress from one phase through to the next. And once all those policies tied to a particular phase are checked as compliant, then a product can move to the next phase. We also have the concept of tasks. These tasks are designed to explicitly be looked at by a human being, so that any manual checks that are required can cover all of the necessary actions, like gaining legal approval, design sign-off. They're not what are used to determine if a product can progress to the next phase. But that being said, we have the policy there that checks to see if all those tasks are complete, and that can be associated to one, a few, or all of the phases. Now, at the bottom of this slide here, the visualization, you can see so many third-party CI/CD planning, orchestration, security, monitoring tools. These can all be leveraged within these digital product release policy checks. It can leverage DevOps data model to integrate with these tools. It does not require DevOps change velocity to use it. However, that can obviously be seamlessly integrated. And, I just clicked on the wrong side. There you go. So historically, we've focused on the last mile, what needs to happen just before deployment. And that's where a lot of our customers create changes with tons of custom checks to validate if the code is ready to push to production. What we're doing is we're shifting those same checks to ensure a broader range of criteria are met and validated at the times before a change is loaded, logged, and the code is deployed. So as an app/feature summary here, this is our new modern release management solution, enabling those product teams to plan and deliver new versions of products consistently. Again, this is licensed within the professional or enterprise SKU, so that's ITSM Pro, ITSM Enterprise, and this is going to help our customers keep up with that need for innovation, more and more embracing agile methodologies and shifting from that project-based to federated product-based way of planning, building, and delivering. So the product that is distributed product teams, it connects those product teams to release with end-to-end visibility, automated validation using reusable policies, controls, and it enables release managers to codify their policies so they can automatically validate compliance. They can define the policies that can be reused across configurable release process templates, helping the product teams to understand if they're on track to deliver based on completion parameters, and just provides that much more holistic visibility into the overall release readiness of products that are delivered by these distributed product teams. Now, as a result, our current release management V2, what we're going to call our legacy release application, this will eventually be deprecated following this release of DPR, and that will follow our standard deprecation process, which today is over 3 releases. And again, you can look on the product documentation site from ServiceNow or even on the community to learn more about the deprecation of the legacy applications. Brian, before I move on to service operations enhancements, any questions in the chat or you need addressing or any comments, feedback?
The questions, so one specific to DPR was in the graphic that shows the life cycle. A lot of the front end activities are part of SPM, and then the kind of testing and prep are part of DPR. So I clarified that one. There's a few questions about the Now Assist that I'm going and finding the answers to add into the Q&A panel.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep.
So let's talk about some of the enhancements, or some of the many enhancements we've made within the service operations workspace. Now, at our knowledge event last year, we ran some labs, and we ran labs on the configurable workspaces and service operations workspace, and we had a lot of feedback. Thank you. Feedback is a gift based on the ease of configurability, or let's be transparent, the difficulty of configuring service operations workspace. What we're hearing loud and clear is that as customers, you want to adopt this technology, this user-friendly interface, that single pane of glass, recognizing the benefits of the outcomes of managing those services teams and operations teams together within that unified pane of glass. So what we focused on with the latest enhancements delivered through the store and in line with the Washington release is a lot of focus on the admin setup experience to make improvements on going to market faster, being able to deploy these capabilities quicker. So let's look at improving the field level recommendations on the incident record. This is really going to be driving agent efficiency. So on the field level recommendations, on the incident page, agents can now leverage AI to help with the incident process. And it's available as part of the new service operations workspace, the 4.2 release, which has been available actually since the February timeframe from the ServiceNow store. We're making these releases for Service Operations Workspace and for Now Assist quarterly through the store so that you're able to take advantage of these capabilities more frequently than our traditional family-based releases that are twice yearly. And with this, agents can now view that top-down recommendations with a drop-down view, and that's going to help drive faster mean time to resolution, and it's going to improve agent efficiency. One of the other enhancements we've made within the workspace is the OnCall Scheduling application. Now, this helps ensure that the dedicated support team members are available to resolve issues when they arise. You can set up these on-call schedules, roster rotations, escalation policies, for groups, determining the current contact for an escalation. And what we've done in Washington is we really reimagine the on-call scheduling experience, bringing it within Service Operations Workspace with this modern and intuitive user experience. So the ability to resolve scheduling conflicts, gaps for groups, act on absence requests for groups, managing shifts, schedules, etc. This really can help us manage those escalation policies, triggering rules and notification preferences for groups. And then for the on-call admin, there's the same functionality as the shift manager's group manager, but can be expanded to any groups that are applicable to work on those shifts. And in addition, we've enhanced the scheduling calendar to be able to create and manage those shifts. And as you can see from the bullet points here on the slide, it means that those managers, those sysadmins, they can easily create or manage those existing shifts from the calendar within a UI action, or even by dragging and dropping from within the calendar view. This makes it a lot easier to be able to manage this feature, and the ability to create a new shift from scratch can leveraging those shift templates that have already been defined. And then finally, in addition to that calendar view, you can view and edit all of the shifts from the side panel tab in the form of cards that indicate shift data like names, the number of active days, the start time, the end time, even across multiple geos, time zones, and all of the shift members. And then finally, for the on-call scheduling, the notification preferences. Now that means that agents can actually view or edit their notification preferences by navigating to the on-call notification preferences tab. We've literally made it easy to navigate and easy to find. So those preferences can be set based on the schedule. For example, is it a weekend day or is it a working day, Monday to Friday, as well as modifying the number of attempts it tries, those channels for the scheduling. Communication channels as well with the third-party integrations includes email, voice, SMS, and the pre-built integration within Microsoft Teams. And then for the escalation policies, group shift managers and admins, they can now manage trigger rules, all of those policies and notifications for the teams, opening up the records, going to the escalation triggers and policies tab. So having that, again, single pane of glass, single user interface, easy to navigate between the tabs and within the one interface, preventing that swivel chair, multiple applications need. And of course, those escalation triggers can be set for all the team views based on table and triggered when those predefined conditions have been met. And of course, there are advanced options with scripting available, and those escalation policies, that they really define all of the steps and the playbook and the notifications required. So some major enhancements, a big uplift to the on-call scheduling and within Service Operations Workspace, all available today in Washington. Now, I lose count the number of times we've spoken about enhancements to password reset, but it's one of the most common IT use cases for any organization across any vertical, any size, and even any device, whether it's a laptop, a mobile, or whatever system of record or application or feature. The need for supporting better password resets is just continuous. So we're continually making those enhancements, and I've just got a couple of slides here. You can see the secure config assistant for password reset. With this, we've created a technical framework that generates a security score for password reset process. And what that does is all of the people that are responsible for the password reset processes, those process owners and admins, they have actionable recommendations if there is a deviation between the maximum and the current score. And also, the new soft PIN expiration framework enhances all of the out-of-box product security, providing customers that use a soft PIN token for a more secure password reset experience. And basically how it's done is by enabling the expiration of soft PINs managed by the password reset admins. It gives them the ability to configure the time window of expiration, sending expiration emails to end users, as well as virtual agent notifications, and then history policies that end users cannot reuse an old token. So again, making it much more robust and more secure. And for the end user, they can see the notification of when a soft PIN is due to expire, as well as choose to receive those emails or virtual agent notifications when that soft PIN is expiring. So more enhancements around password reset, and that leads me on to what's new in the accelerating adoption. So in feature discovery, what's new? So customer admins can, because of the sheer volume of innovation that we're packing into these releases, what we're hearing is, where do I get started? What's best practice for deploying these products? And we're hearing that customer admins are overwhelmed with all the capabilities and innovation. And that means that being the primary persona responsible for both socializing new capabilities as well as mapping those business needs to the Now Platform capabilities, it can sometimes become a bottleneck. And those admins may have limited domain knowledge and bandwidth. And on the other hand, you've got advanced users that can have the best sense of need and can even be the early adopters of all these capabilities, provided they're aware of them. So the net result of the gap is that some customers are not really seeing that they're able to fully realize the full value of the platform. Now, we know that product adoption is one of the top priorities for customers to demonstrate value of your investment in the strategic platform. So what's new bridges this gap by making the new capabilities aware to users so they can organically drive adoption. It's bite-sized content, easy to consume, made available within the help section, where you can get a summary of all the new capabilities and drill down to the details. The context really here is at the application layer, so that the user role and the user is not overwhelmed. It's easy to read, easy to consume, easy to digest format that you can quickly and easily see the delta and what's new. And even better, it doesn't just show those capabilities that are available. It shows what's installed and what's not installed on your environment so that you can collectively influence deployment by justifying the business need. So that's what's new experience to really help drive in accelerating adoption. And of course, the question is, how do you measure success? Well, guess what? Within the success dashboards, we've made some more enhancements. This release really is just packed with more and more goodies, one of which is more enhancements to the success dashboards to really help drive business visibility of the value that you're providing. So while Success Dashboards has a number of prescriptive KPIs, we're hearing that you want to modify the contributors based on your needs, obviously. And this involves navigating the KPI tree and making modifications there. And the current guided setup experience out of box, we're hearing feedback that it isn't the easiest way to navigate the KPI tree to understand and modify those success contributors, which can make it difficult to modify or even deploy the dashboard. So it's really important to have this success dashboard. It can lie as an acceleration, an adoption accelerator, but it can't itself have adoption challenges. So, it's otherwise, it's going to be like going around 360 degrees, is it chicken or egg? What comes first? So what we've done here, really, these enhancements, it's an enhanced guided setup experience within Success Dashboards. We're really putting the focus on the admin experience here, allowing you to easily traverse the KPI tree to visualize the contributors to the Success Dashboard, and then you can make modifications on the fly. And we've added some configurations for operational success and for benchmarks. Now, when I talk about improving the KPI coverage, it's a great tool for measuring the success of self-service, but it doesn't really provide, complete success metrics across the entire ITSM product suite. And that limited coverage doesn't really do justice to the product overall, because success is being achieved from every aspect of your ITSM investment, not just from shifting left or doing self-service. So what we've done in Washington is we've improved the coverage of Success Dashboard by adding coverage of a ton more success metrics from additional products, all integrated in the benefits of that one platform, one single data model, and new products and capabilities. And I can quickly list a few that are now all available within the dashboard. Things like AI search, task intelligence, advanced work assignment, which includes the skill-based rules in WFO, workforce optimization, scheduling, virtual coaching, automatically identifying coaching needs, remedial actions. We've got playbooks, collaboration, and notify as well. So having this improved KPI coverage is really helping improve the coverage of success metrics overall. And what that contributes to is just operational success on the dashboard. And we've extended it to report that operational success with those metrics, along with the product success metrics, all within the same dashboard. So one holistic view into value from the entire ITSM implementation, helping you measure and evaluate performance of all of your key process flows, core ITIL processes like incident, change, problem, major incident, request, catalog request, all of the on-call and interactions. And why we added it really was to reduce the process owner and all of the executive touch points to see these operational metrics. And it's a much more prescriptive dashboard within that next experience UI, with all the metrics that matter at the time they matter within the time that they're being viewed. So that really is driving operational value to business leaders and process owners. Net, it simplifies the need for customization, to add dashboards or any data visualizations. It's there all out of box. So on the topic of reporting, we've reimagined the platform analytics experience. We've now got this unified experience for performance analytics, reporting, all of the user experience analytics, process mining. So platform analytics is, in Washington, a much more modern and intuitive analytics experience. And the focus there, if I was going to underline it, would be experience. It's the experience analytics that matters to you, delivering value with capabilities for all of your ServiceNow data. Now, the challenge that we're solving for here is that teams are struggling to get that unified view of data across the platform. Data's key, right? But it's only as valuable as the tools that you have to put it to use. Now, platform analytics, it's that unified experience that pulls together all of those analytics and data and reporting so that you can monitor, measure, and anticipate trends across performance analytics, across advanced reporting, and all of your user experiences. And what it does is it provides secure, simple access to all of the KPIs, the metrics that you can use to proactively optimize business services so you can make those continued improvements to your processes aligned with organizational goals. Turning the IT team into an enabler for the business rather than a cost center. And that means by leveraging that trusted in-platform data, this solution can give you real-time, actionable insights needed to make better business decisions that can result in better service quality and increased efficiency. So let's talk about workforce optimization enhancements. Oh, I should have run the animation first. This one's got a nice little neat animation in. Let's take a sip of water while that plays. Brian, how are we doing for questions?
I've been blazing through the Q&A panel. Just a lot of questions around the packaging and difference between DPR, SPM. Touch on a little bit of DevOps change velocity. That's more about the pipeline integration. So like a question around GitHub Actions, and yes, we integrate with that. So that's in the chat.
Okay.
Some of the Now Assist, like what's the difference between conversational and non-conversational, basically the how the LLM works versus the topic flow. So I provided a link on that as well.
Sure. Right.
There's a lot of attendees on this call and a lot of questions, and one person trying to keep up. So I think we may have to answer some of these afterward.
We absolutely will. And the thing is, we can follow up, and the recording will be posted to the community for live on ServiceNow. So on that recording, you'll have all the nuances of me kicking the dog out so we can go out to the garden, me taking a sip of water between slides, and even realizing one of the slides didn't have a video animation. But that humanizes the whole experience, right? We're not all robots and virtual agents here. We actually have over 1,100 live attendees on that webinar. So I'm not sure how close that is to being a record, but thank you everyone for taking the time. Let's move on to WFO, Workforce Optimization Enhancements. Now, workforce optimization and process mining were launched 2 years ago now as part of our ITSM enterprise, potentially 3 years ago.
Paris, whatever year that was.
And of course, we now also have them available with standalone SKUs. We can talk about the user-based pricing model, Brian. I know you've got some details around that, but from a feature capability standpoint, let's talk about how WFO, Workforce Optimization, develops high-performing service teams to optimize schedules, work assignments, provide near real-time visibility into all of the incoming work items, all of that demand onto the users, providing skills they need to succeed, all within one pane of glass, one intuitive user interface in that one workspace. Now, what we're hearing is that managers are spending a lot of time digging around for data across multiple tools, multiple siloed tools, and it can quite often be limited by rigid tools to improve the performance of their teams. They can be slowed down by pulling together information and reports from disparate systems and taking a look at snapshots of historical and real-time data. And what we're hearing the need for is that managers and leaders need a solution that not only improves the quality and efficiency of service teams, but it increases team satisfaction and CSAT. So agents, service desk workers need a solution that is going to help them grow their careers and make them feel valued and empowered and engaged in their work. And one of these solutions that we've added is peer-to-peer recognition. It's one of the strongest reinforcements for a motivated workforce. Who doesn't love to get recognition and kudos? No comments, Brian. Which enables managers to incentivize improving agent performance and skills through public recognition of achievements and expertise. And it means that agents can realize and view rewards, and we can gamify this for having their recognition of on their digital profile page, with badges and shiny trophies. And you can standardize and have it as a scalable way to create criteria for employee recommendations for work assignments, where you can view weighted recommendations based on the best match. We have simplified assigning work with calendar filters to find and identify work items based on your ID, the assignee, the shift, geo, location, and much more. And then being able to specify which of your groups are seen and leveraged across all the modules within the manager workspace, focusing on the groups that leaders manage daily. And that really expands the manager of managers use cases. So just to recap there, recognizing individual and team achievements through this peer-to-peer recognition, being able to intelligently schedule work recommendations based on team skills and availability, and creating that holistic overview and transparency for leaders with group-specific views for all of the teams. And then process mining. Brian, you're a little bit more of a subject matter expert than me in this area, so help me work my way, stumbling through this. Process mining obviously helps customers optimize business processes by uncovering trends and patterns, right? And the way we positioned this when we launched this was that customers are telling us they have inefficient business processes that are slowing down work and just driving up the cost of work. And process mining, we've been just continually innovating and delivering innovations that make optimizing processes faster and easier. So new in Washington is that automatic detection of additional common process inefficiencies. And then we have that auto-generated dashboard, and again, improving the admin experience with this accelerated setup. So it's a continuation of the work that I've spoken about with Admin Center, Service Operations Workspace, just our theme of improving the admin experience overall.
Yeah, let me just touch on this real quick. So I noticed a typo on the slide. This is available as an add-on to Pro or in the enterprise package. So it's not part of Pro by default, it's an add-on. And yeah, this is an evolution since we released process mining back in Paris. And we've now have, of course, multi-table support within ServiceNow. And then when we get to the next couple of slides, we also now have external data as well that we can ingest and mine. So if we're doing a cross-system workflow, we can go through that. And then we do, I think the next slide is about the builder experience, right? So throughout this presentation, you've seen some of the things we've done around admin consoles and really driving adoption and making that easier to do. And process mining is no exception. So there's a builder experience here to help people get up and running, define what their project is, what tables you need to be mining, what questions are you trying to answer, what KPIs are you trying to improve. So taking some of the guesswork out of running a process mining project.
Hey, so, how do I start? What are the recommendations for creating those projects? What's an activity, a breakdown definition? How are those activity definitions different than breakout definitions? Or where can I get an overview of the project configuration? So by providing that comprehensive guided experience for new users, it really helps them navigate that whole project setup and accelerates their first time to improvement. And then the last slide on process mining is this multi-dimensional process mining for external data. Again, we're hearing a lot from the field about, what we do with ServiceNow data and external data. And, customers are telling us that their business processes span both ServiceNow and some of those other strategic platforms and external applications. Like might be a laptop purchase that's been, the request, catalog request could be initiated in ServiceNow and fulfilled in another tool, for example, like SAP Ariba. So by being able to identify process improvement opportunities across these multiple platforms applications, it means that we can consolidate the process visualization onto a single map that gives that much more efficient analysis. So with this multi-dimensional, process mining, what customers can do is visualize the entire end-to-end business process, within ServiceNow, outside of ServiceNow, and they can set up that multi-dimensional project that can consume data from these tables in and outside of ServiceNow into a single process map to further analyze process improvement opportunities. Now, obviously, if you've got a very high experience of using performance analytics, process excellence, continual improvement, this is really going to be, a game changer and a much more significant enhancement for you if you're driving those process improvements. So from a feature capability standpoint, certainly within ITSM, clearly, within the platform, there are so many innovations. Our platform release deck had north of 250 slides across the various workflows, customer, employee, technology workflows. So what we've done here is we've done a deep dive, really, or certainly a deeper dive into those enhancements specific within IT service management. So without any remiss, it would be just quickly sort of closing off on how you can take advantage of these capabilities is by upgrading to Washington. And we've tried to make it easier with those admin experience improvements and these tools within the platform that can help you with your questions, simplify and streamline your upgrades. Clearly, ATF, automated test framework, can help you reduce your upgrade time by replacing some of that manual testing with the automated testing. We have the instant scan available. It's a tool that you can use pre and post upgrade to check for all your health issues on your instance in production, obviously. Identifying opportunities to address best practices, ensuring smoother upgrades. Then we have the Upgrade Center, which allows to preview, manage, and monitor the upgrade from start to finish. And then the upgrade plan that we released back in Tokyo. This further reduces the manual effort by packaging and applying apps, customizations, all the records that need to be skipped to multiple instances. And of course, you can learn so much more on our product documentation site, as well as having the release and upgrades community. So the Live on ServiceNow webinar will be posted community. We have the release and upgrades community, where it's a great place to ask questions, get answers from your ServiceNow peers, where you can subscribe and stay clued to what's new from ServiceNow, the upcoming events, and the latest best practices. So subscribe to the community, receive notifications about popular posts, upcoming events, and back in Vancouver, we launched localized versions of the upgrade kit. It's multilingual now, and certainly our friends in Asia Pacific, we've got Japanese, Korean, and more languages soon. So we're expanding beyond English. And this particular webinar, as part of the Live on ServiceNow series, and you can scan the QR code to find out more, this is where we have webinars, meetups, workshops, again, through the community, where ServiceNow experts will share what's new from ServiceNow, providing prescriptive guidance for implementing and deploying all of our products. We know that you love the live demos and the opportunity to connect with peers. So again, scan the QR code and learn more about this interactive event series for what's new and live on ServiceNow. And then finally, the Washington DC release upgrade kit. So Washington went live last Wednesday, and it's now available with general availability. So this upgrade kit contains a playlist of valuable links, demos, and much more to help you get everything you need from your upgrade. By visiting the community releases and upgrades page, we highly recommend that you download the kit, as it's now available. And again, a reminder that there are localized versions of this upgrade kit as well. I think, Brian, we still have a little bit of time before the top of the hour, but that actually concludes the slides that we were going to present.
All right. I think I answered just about every question that I can answer quickly. There are a number of these that I did not answer because I want to get the exact documentation link. It's not that I'm ignoring them.
And like I say, so the Live on ServiceNow series will be posted to the community, and we'll make sure that we follow up with the answers to the questions that haven't been addressed as well. So Brian, thanks for being my partner in crime for this webinar. Thank you to everyone who's attended. Still got north of 750 live attendees that have stayed for the Q&A as well. I can see the numbers starting to drop off. We're coming to a natural conclusion for the webinar. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for giving up your time. And thank you for listening to the presentation. We hope it was worthwhile, and we hope it's going to help you get more value out of your investment in ServiceNow's ITSM. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everyone, for attending.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.